Good evening. This is Tracy. I'm going to show you guys how I made this cute, sorry for the lighting, mini Dayna pack. So stay tuned. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tracy. I wanted to do a video on the Dayna pack, but the mini version, which is for a kid. And I wanted to go over the different things that I have, being that this is my first sewing video because I'm used to doing embroidery videos. So I wanted to start with this. So the Dayna pack is like a fanny pack. So I'll be doing the mini. So these two are the front panels. This is the bottom, this is the top. So I interface both with woven fuse from Barbara's Bags. You got interfacing, or I got interfacing. I'll get the name clearly for you guys. So that's that. I have the back panel. I am using marine vinyl. This is from Joann's Fabric. I have the back lining. I'm using waterproof canvas. I bought this from Walmart. It's like a lime green color. This is the top panel lining. The front bottom panel lining. The two side of the Dayna pack, they have to be mirrored. One is for the left, one is for the right. I have these two that are cut. I wasn't given the exact measurements, but I cut them so I know exactly what I'm going to do to enter them with the D-rings. I have a 7-inch rainbow zipper tape from My Hand Space. I have some hardware. This is very cute. These are little flower snap hooks from Wallet Hardware. Her name is Ginger. So it came with 2 sets of hooks, 2 D-rings. So I bought that as a set. And then I also had my tri-glider, I believe this is what it's called, or slider. I'm still new to sewing, so I don't know everything. Then I have my circle ring rainbow zipper pull from Wizardry and Stitchery and Crafts. That's that. I have some hair clips, the rainbow from Mormino. And then I have my Wonder Clips. I have, which you guys can see when I turn the camera, my rivet press and punch. This is my Juki 1541S that I'm using. I have my snips. I have my scissors. I have a full bobbin, which I have an extra here just in case if I need to do an extra project. I'm using rainbow thread. This is from Sewing Machines. I think that's what it's Sunny Sewing Machines. It's nylon, bonded nylon thread. I should have gotten the exact name for it, but I love it and it's rainbow. They're usually out of stock. Once it's in, people buy them out and then they're out of stock again. So if you really want to get your hands on it, always stock the website like I do. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to apply the zipper to the top and bottom panels of the front. So I'm not going to add my pull yet because it's easier to do it without it. And then once we add it, you can just slip on the zipper pull. But I also have a zipper jig that I'll be using to show you guys what I use sometimes when it's not working in my favor. And this little light comes in handy, but since I have the bright light, I don't think I really need it. So we'll just put that to the side. So, oh, and I forgot I had 20 inches of nylon webbing. This is 1/2 inch. See how small it is versus the 1 inch. So I'm going to put certain things to the side. Excuse me if my face was in the way. So as I do them in order, I could just pick them up. So the first thing I'm going to be working with are the front, the linings, and later we'll work on the back. Alright, so put this to the side. We don't need the hardware. We don't need this just yet. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to apply the zipper, and you're going to face it down. And my zipper is actually 7.5 inches because I made it a little bit longer just so I don't have to center it. But usually you would center if you did exactly 7 inches. And then I'm going to clip it together. I never know which way I'm supposed to clip it, whether it's this way or this way. I'm never sure, so if somebody could correct me, please tell me if it's this way or this way. I don't know. I like to do the flat from the front, and then I'll sew. Okay? So we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And make sure you backstitch when you are sewing. And if you guys want to know, I do have a zipper foot on my machine. I took off the original one that came with it, and this is the left side zipper foot. And I will be going slow because I'm still new to sewing and everything is like slow motion for me, so I can get it right. Don't forget to back stitch when you get towards the end. Just clip off your unnecessary threads. Alright, so you guys see that? So then now I'm going to add my main panel lining. I write them on the back so I can know, but they're not going to be seen, so it's okay. So you're going to match them together, right sides together. Make sure that the I forgot what these notches are called. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I forgot, but make sure they match. And I'm going to flip them again. And then I'm going to turn it around and sew on the same exact seam allowance that I did before. Okay? Don't forget to back stitch beginning and end. And this can be done on a domestic machine as well. The reason I actually got this is because I wanted to make handbags with leather. So I took the opportunity to buy the Juki 1541S because my husband said I should go with that versus the 1181. Just in case if I ever want to do car seats, etc., then you could. Okay, so now you're going to flip these two. Make sure the notches are matched up, which I like to clip in place. And then you're going to top stitch at a 1/8 seam allowance. I like to match up my notches. It's not a big deal if it's kind of off, but you want to try to match it up. Alright, so make sure you finger press it like so. But if you have an iron, you could iron it, but my iron's not nearby, so you're going to top stitch at a 1/8 seam allowance. So we're going to do the same thing with the top panel. So now with the top panel, It's supposed to be like this, so make sure you center it. So I'm gonna do a fold, and then I'm gonna fold this just to see where my center is, so I can match them up with my zipper. So here's my center. I'm gonna match them up. I'm just eyeballing it, and you're gonna do the same thing, right sides together, and I'm gonna pin in place. And you are going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and make sure you get as close to the zipper edge as possible, so when you go to top stitching you don't have any issues. So once again, I'm going to back stitch in the beginning and the end. Make sure my zipper is straight. Click those threads. Alright, so as you guys can see, it's coming along. Okay, so then you're going to take the top panel lining, right sides together. So this side is the good side, this side is good side. So you're going to do the same thing and make sure they match. Clip and place, sorry. And then I'm going to turn it around and use the same seam allowance and sew on that. Those threads. So far you have this, and then you're gonna pull it up and you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna finger press it and top stitch at a 1/8 seam allowance. You can clip in place, but it's a small little piece, so I'm not gonna really clip in place. Take these away. So far we have this. This is your front, and then this is your back. Okay? So now I'm going to add my zipper. This is the zipper jig. I believe I had a brain fart. Oh my gosh. She's from Soul whatever, Miss Mormino. Oh my god, I forgot her name. That's a shame. I forgot, but I watch her videos a lot. She owns Mormino. Lauren Mormino. Thank you. I forgot. She suggested this and I bought it and I like it, and other people are also making their own and selling, and which I think is a beautiful thing, but I had already bought this, so it's okay. I added to my table, and then you add your zipper, and then because my two pieces are together and I want my zipper to go this way, so I'm going to open this end and then at an angle you're going to push both ends And then make sure that they line up before adding it, because if they don't line up, you will have a crooked zipper. Oh, there we go. How is that so good? Look how spot on that was. Okay, so this is what we have. And I believe the next thing is to pinch these together, if I'm not mistaken. I'll be right back because I need to look at my pattern. I made this so many times, but I still forget. Give me a second. So, I was right. So we have to pinch in, move this out the way. We have to pinch in the little notches, I forgot the names, right sides together. So I'm gonna clip it just for now, just to show you guys. Not on the back side, but the right sides together. You gotta pinch them, and we're gonna sew them at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And you're gonna do the same thing with your lining, the right sides together, because that's what's going to give the little curve shape to it. Alright, so we're just going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then we're going to cut away the excess. There's many ways you can do this, but there's no right way. So that's one. On to the next. You can either sew it from here or you can sew it from here. It really doesn't matter. Try to keep your design together because mine is not acting right. Alright, so here we go. I like to go forward and backwards with this part. For some reason, it tends to unravel. There's my clip. Alright, we're going to do the same thing to the lining. Down there. Oh, that's one. Alright, and this is the last one. I just clip them together so they could stay together. You don't have to clip them. Alright, so you could clip like close to 1/8 inch on these notches. I keep forgetting the name, but I'll get it once this video is over, I guarantee you. We're clipping away just a little bit of the seam allowance. Okay, so, oh, that came apart. That's not good. Let's redo that one. And even though I cut away the seam allowance, I know where my notches are, so I'm gonna stitch in the same exact spots. There we go. Okay, so this is what the bottom should look like a little curvy. And same thing for, oh, this is coming apart too. Uh-oh, I didn't backstitch. See, like I said, you guys, I'm still learning. It's all new to me. Alright, so this is what the lining also should look like. Okay, so I'm gonna actually put them both tucked into each other, so therefore it looks like this. Okay, so now the next thing is we're going to apply the back of the lining. So we're going to do right sides together. So I'm going to turn this the other way, and then we're going to clip in place. And if you notice, let's say I put this together, there's going to be a space up here, and there's a reason, because later on we're going to be able to flip the bag easily with this extra length up here, and that's part of the pattern. So we're going to clip this in place. I should have did a clip point of the middle, which I'll do. Just fold it in the middle. Need to see where this middle is. Alright, so that's my middle point. So then you're going to clip around, and then we're going to sew all the way around to baste in place. My chair keeps going down. Maybe I need one of those chairs that Lauren has on her videos. This video might be long because remember, this is my very first sewing video, and I just wanted to do a quick and simple project which I want to do for my daughter. And I know it's not going to take forever, but for the video wise it might take forever. So you're going to sew around, well, attach. I'm not going to cut the zipper off until I'm completely done with the sewing. I want to make sure everything is fine. Alright, so let's finish off this side. Alright, so we're going to sew all the way around this, basting it all together before we add the two side notches. Okay, and I believe it says, give me a second, it's because I don't have a TV here, so I can't really, or an iPad to watch. I have my computer on the other side. Perfect. So in the pattern it says we need to sew at a 3/8 seam allowance. So let's do that. Oh, and I got my first sticker, you guys, from a sewing angel, and I decided to add it to my machine. I've only had her for, well, her or him, I don't know, 3 months, since April. All right. So 3/8. 3/8 is about 0.3 something. So if you're a math person like me, I tend to calculate. Or if your machine has the plate with the different seam allowances, that's perfect, because mine doesn't, and I think I want to purchase one. I hope they actually have one, but I would love to purchase one to help me out with the seam allowance, because sometimes I just want to look at the base plate and not just draw it on my fabric or anything like that. All right, so here we go. I back stitch beginning and end. I'm just gonna go back and forth on that zipper part so it stays together. And when you get to the curve, just make sure you slowly curve around. And sometimes I pinch real hard so I can get around it without trying to be too fast. And sometimes I'm like turtle slow when I'm doing certain designs or doing it for the first time. So flatten it, and slowly turn your design. With the zipper part, I went back and forth twice, and then I back stitch. Oh my gosh, there we go. All right, so here we go. So we basted everything in place. So now we can clip away the excess zipper. And I have a little garbage can near me right here. So any thread I have or excess things that I'm cutting off, I put in the trash can. So far, if you, just gonna do this. You open up the zipper, you have your lining. How adorable. And the back should look like this. Okay? So now we're gonna add the side notches. Once again, I don't know the name, but this is where the D-rings will be going. So be careful to know which side is which. So this is going to go on the right side. On my camera, it might look the left side. So you're going to do right sides together. And I remember she said something about having 1/4 of an inch on the top part. So it's not really matching. So just have a little bit up there. And then you're going to clip in place. And that's my daughter trying to get my attention. And, sorry about that. I'm going to clip in place. And then you may have some go over, but that's okay, because you're going to cut it off later on. So you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Once again, make sure you back stitch beginning and end. So this is what you have. I'm going to do the next side. So you're going to take it right sides together, and remember you're leaving maybe a 1/4 inch above. You guys can see that. You're going to clip in place. And remember that little tail can go off because you're going to clip it off. It's not going to make that much of a difference. So I'm going to start from the bottom because it's where I want to. And remember, you're going to back stitch beginning and end. Alright, so far we have that. So now we're going to top stitch. So you're going to top stitch this part and this part. At a 1/8 seam allowance. Looking rough on the back, but hey, that's just the back. We're not worried about the back, because that's the joy of constructing a bag. Alright, so see, so far we have this. How cute. And we're going to do the same thing to this side. And remember, no one's perfect, so your design may not come out as perfect as the actual pattern designer did. So I always tell myself that, because that's there we go. Alright. Let's clip those threads. Alright, so far we have this. How cute. And then of course the back doesn't look so good, but that's okay because we're gonna construct. Now if you notice, like she said in the pattern, I don't know if you guys can see this part right here, and they're not straight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a ruler and slice it down, which I don't have my ruler right here, but I'm just gonna take the scissors and make it even. I usually have my scissors. Oh, perfect. So therefore it's even on top. Okay? Now the next thing we're gonna do is we have to add our little D-ring holders, I believe. So I have the 1/2 inch D-ring. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half once, and then you're going to fold the 2 others in half. So you have this, and then you're going to stitch along the sides with the 1/8 seam allowance all the way around. And I'm using waterproof canvas, I believe. That unravels, so I have to be careful. I'm using waterproof canvas because I saw someone else use it and I want to try it. So it should look something like this. It's not perfect, but yeah, it should look something like this. And then you're gonna stick your D-ring inside. So you should have something like this. So I'm gonna clip it in place until I have to baste it to the sides, which I'm gonna do the other one. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to say something below in the comments. I'm not perfect. This is my very first sewing video. If I made a mistake, please correct me, because I only want to get better. So once again, you're going to sew around it. Please make sure you hold it down, because it may unravel. Vinyl probably won't, but this waterproof canvas did. And like I said, if you have a domestic, this design is domestic machine friendly. So don't be afraid. Alright, so here's my other piece. I'm going to add it to my D-ring. And who knew they made D-rings this small? But hey, it's my first time using a 1/2 inch D-ring. So it's like this. So what you're going to do is baste it on the edge. And I want to get as close as possible. So I'm going to just pin them in place for now until I'm ready to sew it on. And thank God I have a zipper foot in my machine, so I can get as close to the design as possible. So you're just gonna baste that into place, and I am going to use my seam ripper to help me guide it, because it may be slippery. Okay. There we go. I don't know what that sound was. If you do, please let me know. Alright, so see? We basted it in place. Did I do that the right way? Yes, because once we cover it, we're gonna cut this piece off. Okay, just wanted to make sure. All right. Still a learning curve for me, you guys. So I did frontwards and backwards because I want to make sure it's in there correctly. Alright, so I'm not going to cut these two ends off until I've attached my back. So, alright, so make sure your zipper is open, because we'll need that when we're turning the back. So far we have this. Okay, so now the last thing is you're going to take your back panel and you're going to do right sides together. Okay, so I'm going to pin the 2 notches together first, making sure that they match. And then you're just going to go around and clip, making sure that the pieces line up. And if they don't, work with it. There we go. Because you do not want that much excess happening. There we go. Gotta make it happen. You guys, as I'm doing this, I'm like so nervous, like, ugh. But when I'm in my comfort zone at home, not on camera, this is nothing. I'm like in my zone, listening to music. And if you guys haven't done this design, it's so cute. It's by Lynn's Handmade. She is awesome. She has several other designs as well. There is no way I'm affiliated or she asked me to do this video. I just wanted to do this simple design because I thought it was cute, because I made a few already of the adult versions, but I haven't made a mini yet. So I wanted to make a mini version. Making sure everything lines up. The more clips the better, because that means they're intact. Making sure everything's in place and straight. I don't want any mishaps. I'm not a perfectionist, but I like things to be nice. Alright, so here we go. How many pins is that? So, what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way around, but if you notice, this top is open for a reason. That's for us to birth the bag. So, we're going to sew all around with a 1/4 seam allowance. And when we're done, we're going to clip away the excess and we're going to birth the bag. Let's do this. All right, gladiators, ready? I'm gonna start at this end first. And make sure you bast it at the beginning and at the end. And when you get to the notches with the D-rings, I would actually go back and forth with them because you want to make sure that they're secured. Yeah, just making sure. See, I want, oh, that clip broke. Get that all the time. Now turn your bag. Don't want the lining to get off. There we go. Make sure you guys are taking your clips off way before you get to it, or it will get broken like one of mine just did. Because this happened several times. This is nothing new to me. When you get to the curves, make sure you take your time and turn. Just this a little bit for them to line up. There we go. because my D-ring is too close, I'm gonna back stitch this particular area. So nothing happened. That's that. Alright. So I had to back stitch there. So here, I'm going to cut away, not much of it, because I want it to have some type of stability. Clip away those, and then any excess. Not much, but you don't want too much bulkiness in your bag. When I first made this bag, I was intimidated, and then I was like, oh wow, it's not that bad. Not that bad. Alright, so now we're gonna birth the bag. So hopefully you left your zipper open. So we're gonna birth it. Turning from the opening. We're gonna turn it inside out. Oh, I noticed something. Hold on. I didn't catch. Thank God I inspected that. Didn't catch the back panel. Oh, and if I didn't tell you guys, I was stitching on a 4.5 stitch length on my Juki 1541. Alright, so slowly, slowly. Don't worry about anything being wrinkled. Oh, it's ripping. Maybe I didn't catch it. But I can fix that. Alright, slowly. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Slowly. And don't forget your little notches from the inside. You're going to push them out. There we go. There's one. Other one's coming. There we go. And if you have a bone, it's called a boner, or I think there's another name for it. You can help, like, go in and fix your curves. Okay, so that's the bag. Look how cute that is. And then to secure the lining on the inside, what they don't show you, remember this is not attached. So to attach it, what we're going to do is this isn't vinyl, so I'm going to go from here to here all the way around, here to here. But if this was vinyl, I would only go from here to here. So I'm just going to like top stitch all the way around. But if you just want to do the top, which I think I'll do, just to hold the lining on the inside, I'll just go from here to here, just to make things more symmetric. And make sure the inside is flattened. I think I'm just gonna go from one edge to another. And that's just to secure the lining on the inside. Uh-oh. My thread escaped. My thread escaped. There we go. And if you have an industrial, you know that you thread from left to right. So, 1/8 inch seam allowance. That string is in the way, sorry. Alright. Because this is a rainbow themed fabric, I was using the rainbow thread and it actually matches up real nicely. Alright. So this is it, you guys. Look. Only in the back it will show, but it's okay. Okay. Alright. So you have your top and bottom linings. Alright, so now we're going to work with the waistband. Alright, so the first thing is you're going to thread one of your 1/2 inch D-rings, if I'm not mistaken. And then you're going to thread your glider. I've only watched several people do this, but I'm just going to see how it's done. Here we go. Stick it from underneath. And that's my daughter trying to call me while I'm doing the video. I never get a chance to myself, you guys. Never. So if you have kids, you understand. Alright, so yes, I think this is going to be its end. That's going to be at one end, and then if you want to rivet this, you can, but I think I'm gonna sew it, and then you just take the other end of your clasp, you can rivet it, that's English. You can rivet it, or you can sew it. I think I just might rivet it. So it should look like this. That's one end. This one's going to be sewn, so therefore if it's sewn, you can adjust the strap. See, you can adjust the strap by the top part. So I'm debating, should I rivet or should I sew it down? Well, I'll debate that later. So then, you guys see, I'm going to just put that in place just for now. Forgive me for all these mistakes, you guys. You clip it on some thick swirl clasp. So cute because it got a little flower on it. And that's your little Dayna Pack. Look how cute that was. Okay, now the little waistband with nylon webbing, and it's adjustable. Look how cute that is, and they can actually wear it as a little purse if I were them. And that's it. Sorry about that. So thank you for watching. I'll try to do more if I'm more comfortable, but this is just me getting out of my element, because to be honest, I'm very nervous like when I do stuff like this. It's not perfect, but I did it. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.